Hello and welcome to a special edition of the CCC cast. As you can hear, I'm using kind of regal, posh type music. Um, that's because we are going to discuss on this cast etiquette and manners online. And no, I know some people might be led to believe that we're going to fire up this cast about Prince Harry's wedding. As exciting as that is, I really can't think about that with all the fuckery that we go on with. And speaking of fuckery, I know some people are going, hey, you're going to talk about etiquette and using words like fuckery. We're going to do etiquette our style. Everything from unwanted dick pics to other just tragic ways people use social media to alienate, bully, or harass people. It is going to be a fun topic. We are going to talk the do's and don'ts, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. I will be joined very soon by Panther Goddess and Zwerg. And hopefully we'll get some more updates on Lefty and a few other CCC members, how they're doing. I'm going to get ready to fire up this cast. Just hanging in there, getting ready for the freaking holidays.
I know, right? It's just a mad dash, as they say.
Yeah, this year has gone by fast.
Yeah, it's a weird year.
It has
to say the least, right? It's
real.
2017, it's can it get weirder? You know?
It has.
Among other things that are weird.
I started doing this piece that I'm going to put up on Daily Cost about the year rundown, how we're embracing fascism. And some of the stuff that I was going through my notes is like, I can't believe all of this happened in this year. With journalists being arrested and the body slam in Montana and just a whole bunch of shittery.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Before we were voting for pedophiles, we were voting for violent, unhinged people.
Yeah, who thought
it's that... It's how they all hang out together, you know?
Exactly. GOP are like shit birds of a feather, for real.
Oh, my God. Well, I mean, it's like, let's just say right here and now, they have no ideology or any substantive anything. They're just purely demagogues who vote for weird, fucking horrible, evil shit.
They're good for pedophiles.
Yeah. They're finding a way to vote for a pedophile, yet like condemn him at the same time. Like the cognitive dissonance this takes is unreal.
It is.
You know, I don't know. It's just we are in an incredibly, interesting time.
They should totally change their GOP symbol from the elephant to just like a broke down van with free candy on the side now, as far as I'm concerned. They might as well, because that's the kind of stuff they invite.
Yeah, like a shady ice cream truck.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. Somebody needs to show the de-evolution of the GOP in terms of vehicles.
Yes.
That would be a really good graphic. You start out with, like, I don't know, a fucking Ferrari. I don't know why, because they've sucked since Lincoln or since Civil Rights Bill. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, it would be a very good visual to represent how horrible they are.
For real, because you think about it, it's just like they used to tout so strongly that they were the party of moral values, even though we knew, marginalized folks knew that was a dog whistle to say we hate brown people and we hate gays and all that stuff. That whole moral values party was bullcrap, but now they've just thrown all of that out the window.
Yeah, I mean, they've gone from, covert, coded, racism that's a little more embedded to overt, plain racism.
Exactly.
And the white people are uncomfortable, let me tell you.
Well, they're not helping the situation because you're stuck between those who want to go, well, not all white people, well, enough of yous. And then you have the other ones who just embrace the hate. And then you have confused mofos like last night's hipster. And I posted that.
Oh, that guy. Oh, my God. Like, okay, full disclosure, I was a hipster in high school.
Yeah.
So we're talking, early 2000s, I wasn't a pop punk person, but it was during that era,
Yeah.
And, yeah, I know what, I can judge hipsters. I feel comfortable judging hipsters. That guy, I mean, hipsters have gone south and fast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, all the real hipsters who are actual cool people jump ship, like, 10 years ago. It's just, it keeps recapitulating itself into shit like that guy. Like, oh, Nazis, I'm just going to throw some nuance in there. You know, it's like, okay, go fuck yourself.
I mean, I read the profile, and first my brain hurt, because I was like, why do these people find to leave? How do these people find to leave? And then I look at it, it says, Nazi against racism and anti-Semitism, which is, you're not a Nazi if you're against those two things. That's like the core of their beliefs.
He thinks it's cool to say that. Trust me, okay, coming from a former white hipster, that he probably thinks he's cool for saying that. Like, look at me, I'm edgy, guys. Nazi against racism. No, I have friends who are still stuck in this way of thinking, and it's a really horrible way to be.
Yeah.
Because you're, like, trapped in this, like, white hipster spin cycle, and you only listen to other white hipsters in that spin cycle, so it really churns out some horrible, like, grossly uninformed stuff.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, it's like, reality doesn't exist because these fuckers checked out, like, 8 years ago or whatever. You know, it's like they're stuck in this, like, echo chamber of man buns. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's just like, it's unreal. It's unreal. It's like, and they have to one up each other with who can be more hipster. So it was cool for a while, and then, like, once it got to a point where it's like, oh my god, like, I'm gonna wear, like, a size medium child t-shirt because it's really tight on me, and that's what hipsters do. It's like, I'm out. You know, it's like, it jumped the shark, and I'm out. And now, you know, many years later, this is what we have.
I get embracing.
It's ridiculous.
It is. I get embracing, like, retro stuff. I still play retro games and stuff. But he's like one of those guys who want to embrace, like, the worst sides of the 50s. And he killed me because he just kept going on, like, misogynist against sexism, homophobe in favor of gay marriage, and fascist against forced political violence. And I'm like, dude, you don't sound clever. You could have said that you were...
How horrible white people are.
Yes.
This is it. Looking at it, square in the face. This is how horrible. It's like a game or something.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just gonna be cute with oppression.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and make oppression, like, you know, the starter to a coffee house conversation with some other hipster girl. You know what I mean? It's like it doesn't play outside of their universe because it's fucking ridiculous. You know what I mean? Inside their universe it plays, which is sad, and that's the point, is these people are sad and horrible people.
They're fake. And what kills me is, there are people who think like this, who think they can be okay for oppression as long as they don't give that appearance. And it's like, why are you declaring that you're a Nazi in the first place? When did that become cool?
Yeah, like, exactly, right? This is the thing, and I teach, so I can speak a little bit to this with the youths. Sad to say, young people think it's cool to be stupid.
Oh my
gosh.
For real.
It's kind of a thing now. And, you know, I mean, it's always been a thing. I mean, I am not a Mr. Golden Age thinker guy. I hate that. I mean, I feel like I represent, you know, like, youth and that, and I hate it when people talk shit on young kids, but there's a very real thing happening where being stupid is cool. Like, you ask them point blank, and they'll say, yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's, you know, it's just different than we grew up, so we just have to deal with it. That's, you know, don't pity that. But it really is. They think it's stupid to be cool.
Yeah. I'm a straight-up Gen X cynic, so it just, like, hits every nerve in my body when I read or see stupid stuff like this.
Yeah, it's gone a different way very quickly. So, yeah, I mean, this is, you know... 2 years ago, things were very different. People were a little more comfortable. Now we're not. And then, you know, there's good and bad to all that. You know, I don't know, ask Susan Sarandon. It's all good. We're all going to come out great.
The only thing I want to ask her is when she's going to shut the fuck up, because she's really chumping herself with her nonsense.
I pray that I see her in LA somewhere. I just pray.
I will
flip my goddamn camera. I will dox myself, and I'll be like, Susan Sarandon, my name is... and I am here to say that you are, like, Queen Bernie Bro. I will, like, why are you, like, such a horrible person?
She is an insufferable white woman. It's like, okay, we get it. You love your candidate. You're, like, stuck on Bernie Sanders. He is not the end-all, be-all. But what I can't stand is she jumps on these bandwagons, but she's not even brave enough to face Joy Ann Reid herself. She sticks her little minions on Joy. She's retweeting bot accounts talking about how Joy isn't even a real journalist. And it's like, are you kidding me? And then some guy said that she was like the Ann Coulter of black people. What?
Whoa, so Susan Sarandon is criticizing Joy Reid.
Yes.
This is another 2017 moment, people. This is another 2017 moment brought to you by the CCC podcast.
Yep.
Oh my God. Like, oh my God. Oh yeah. So last night I was on Twitter, shocking, and Brave Neck. She was basically getting told how to protest by a white woman.
Of course, they've been out in droves with that bullshit. Not on my timeline because they know better.
This just needs to stop. Like, white feminism, not white feminists. There are white feminists who hate white feminism. Shout out to Skull Flowers. Shout out to Morgan Match. But
Demigoddess, all of them.
Yeah, Demigoddess, absolutely. Like diametrically opposed to that shit. But it's like people who are. It's like shit's going crazy, so people are starting to pay attention, and then some people, like, their entry point is white feminism, Yep. Oh, I'm going to do something about it. Let me hug a black person so I feel better about myself and I'm less uncomfortable, that whole, that whole trope, you know what I mean? It's just, like, it's ridiculous.
Kills me is the number of them who think making me their friend, which... No, when we're not friends, makes them woke or enlightened. It's like, if you're friending me because you think I'm going to wake you, then you're not my friend.
Yeah, like, listen and ask questions, but it's more important to listen. Like, listening. Listen. All you have to do, white people, you just have to listen to what people of color say happens in their lives.
And don't dismiss it.
Listen to it, and you say, oh, you're not lying, that's real, and then guess what? Maybe you'll actually get out of wherever the hell you are in your aggressive white feminism-laden world, It's not complicated, but it's difficult, apparently,
For them, what kills me is the ones that have to try to take over. They tell us how to protest. They tell us how to feel. This whole Me Too movement, and Time did put the Me Too, the people who spoke up, as the person of the year, which part of me is proud of, but I understood why a lot of people were like, why is Taylor Swift on the cover? And you get these people, she speaks to little girls and they're trying to sell a magazine. It's like, she speaks to what little girls? Taylor Swift wouldn't have been in my neighborhood.
No. Taylor Swift, everybody, in case you're wondering, is kind of like white nationalists and Nazis kind of like idolize her.
Yeah.
They look up, it's like she's white, and it's like they take credit, like, and they post memes and all that shit, right?
She's made a whole career out of being the victim, as far as I see it. I know.
Absolutely. Sorry, yeah. So, real quick. Yeah, so that's the case, right? And then somebody, I forget this, follow me, somebody wrote an article calling her out on it, saying, hey, you should be like, white nationalism's bad, I'm not racist. Pretty simple. Yeah. Somebody calling her out, right? Guess who she sued? Did she sue the Nazi, or did she sue the person who told her to call out the Nazi?
She probably sued the person calling her out, because we deal with it all the time.
Bingo. Yes, it's like, she is that kind of like surface level entry point of, oh my God, I'm white, but things are bad for other people. What's happening? Oh,
she benefits from the suffering, and that's the problem I have with certain white allies. You don't want us to protest loud. You don't want us to do that because you like the status quo. The status quo isn't killing you or your kids, or and it irks me that it takes them knowing somebody or marrying somebody or being friends with somebody to realize how messed up stuff is. It didn't take me I'm not lesbian, but I don't have to know that lesbian and transgender and gay men suffer. It's called empathy.
Absolutely. Yeah, empathy, right? And it's like, you don't tell them about their experience. You listen to them, and then you amplify their voice, because you're a good person in the world. and that's how it works. But apparently that's just too complicated, and everybody wants to be a fascist.
I know a lot of people will probably jump on my Taylor Swift take because I've seen them go after Awesomely Lovey. I've seen them go after Brave Neck. I've seen them go after Amine. And it's like, we aren't saying this to diss Taylor Swift. I don't know her. I don't listen to her music. She's not my cup of tea. I'm way too old for her genre anyway. The only thing I've seen of her is her being the victim and stuff. And yes, she won a lawsuit where somebody groped her. So she understands sexual harassment. I wouldn't take that from her. But to act like only she can talk to young girls, Keisha went through hell.
Yes, exactly.
Why isn't her picture up there?
That's actually a very good point, right? Because it's more palatable to fragile white people. It's very much more palatable, right? It's like, it tastes better. It goes down better, right? It's like, oh, Taylor Swift, she's part of this. Oh, I know Taylor Swift. Oh, I can just sort of like feel better about it.
It's like they're trying to reinforce that they can't make the movement real without her face on it. And it's like, that's a disservice to all of us who have suffered from sexual abuse. It's like, we don't need star power. We need the story to be the star. We need the stories that this happens to people to be the star. And we need all people to feel like they can come forward, because the Me Too movement wasn't just about women coming forward. It was about men talking about their abuse too. And I've seen some really touching stories from guys that follow me and beyond about their abuse and stuff that happened to them. And we need to make this about everybody who has felt wronged in this way. And that's why I say they don't get these movements right. It's all about show, and it gets on my nerves.
Yeah, it's exact optics, as the term is, right? And yeah, it's like, what do you even believe in? You know, it's like, you have to believe in something. You have to have like a core. You know what I mean? There needs to be something there. You can't just be like, you know, put your finger out, which way's the wind blowing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, I mean, and all of us have a different, like, core. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of us who, you know, who are in chat together, we talk, and a lot of us have different opinions about things. But we also know that where the other person is coming from is incredibly well thought out, incredibly well founded.
Yeah.
You know, so there's no question about authenticity, about whether the person's being genuine or disingenuous, etc. Right? But you know, outside of that, it's just a goddamn free for all, and everybody's just like, you know, on the surface, like, you know, being on Twitter is a trip, but it's like you kind of see patterns evolve, and there's people who are consistent, and then there's people who just sort of go with the flow.
Yeah,
you know, I mean,
the sheep mentality is that I told Jesus last night. That's the main reason why the Team Patriot BS got as bad as it did, because people don't want to think for themselves. They want to be told how to resist. They want to be told how to feel. They want to be told who to hang out with, who to block. And it's like, you're the grown folks. And for you to jump and target people, no, that ain't cool. I'm not cool with that at all.
Not at all.
You know?
Yeah, no, really. Yeah, like the group thing, you know? I mean, and, you know, we got a little hive mind going, but it's well-founded. Like I said, it's not some, like, oh, we're just flippant and we just sort of, just, like, you know, and we'll tell each other when, you know, hey, that was interesting. Maybe you shouldn't do that or something. Like, you know, it's...
My thing is, we
really
focus...
communication, but it's weird among this whole sea of fuckery that we're just, like, floating in this life raft. It's so awesome. And it's like, we look around like, oh, it's all horrible out there, but this is, like, kind of the best place ever, but yeah, it's all horrible out there.
My thing is, we can focus on things that are messed up without telling each other what to do. I mean, if we see each other step out there and it's a bit of a fuck up, yeah, we're grown enough to say, hey, you know, that was a little bit there. But most of the time, we don't have to do that. We don't tone police each other. I would never go on your thread and say, hey, don't say that, because I wouldn't want that done to me. And I've kicked people out of my following because they've tried to do that to me. Don't follow me if you want to tell me how to tweet, because you'll be gone.
Oh,
I don't need followers that bad.
Yeah, and it's kind of going back to the whole, like, Taylor Swift, and when things get real, a white lady pops up.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, and you were speaking about the Me Too, like, that, I mean, that was, like, that, as far as hashtags go, that shit was awesome. Yeah. Because it really had an effect, right? And that's what we need to be concentrating on. And, you know, and everything kind of has its you know, it's sort of, you know, ebb and flow. And then, you know, there's a point at which it becomes like, okay, so okay, I got, me too. It's like, it should be about that moment, that whole kind of happening, and then we should put shit into action. Put it into action. If you keep hashtagging it, like, this isn't about, like, your experience as a woman, but if you're just some person on Twitter that thinks you can hashtag your way out of this, like, get real. Like,
exactly.
Like, you need to put in real work in the real world, like, in order to, like, actually have, like, cachet on Twitter, in my opinion. It's like, what the hell do you do all day?
Exactly.
If you do this, then you better be about it, and you better have a, like, established record of critiquing oppression, critiquing everything. You can't just, I just can't stand these people who are online, and it's just, like, they think that if I hashtag it, I'll just impeach Trump with a hashtag. I mean, it's very much back to that white feminism, like, oh, let's placate our thing,
Exactly. And to piggyback on that, it's these people who weigh in that have not been victims of assault have been getting me too, because a lot of them have these, like, really, really weird ideas of how to get revenge against, like, the Harvey Weinsteins and that potentially Al Franken. I say potential because they didn't even allow an ethics committee to review all the so-called evidence. And I'm saying this as somebody who was attacked at 14. You need to hear both sides of the story. I would sit there and go through trial with the guy who did what he did to me, because I would love to see how he tried to talk his way out of what he did to me. And I would want people to know this is not just me saying, hey, this happened. You can tell by the way this guy acts that, there's something wrong with him.
You're exceptionally strong for, believing that. I mean, the fact that you actually, that's how you feel, I mean, that's an incredibly powerful thing.
It took years for it, because I blamed myself and everything else. And then I watched these feminists, they call themselves feminists, and it was a white lady who said it, and I hate pointing that spotlight, but you don't see women of color saying stuff like this. Talking about, I don't care if Al Franken goes down, they need to take out any man who's accused. And it's like, why would you do that? And then somebody linked me a Medium article which basically said about the tweeting woman who stepped up and accused him first, that she's not a real victim of sexual assault. I wish, and it sounded like to me that they were coming across wishing that she was a victim of sexual assault, which they kept assuring me that wasn't what they were going for. But that's what the whole article seemed like after a while. They detailed some great things about how it was a USO stunt and how they didn't feel that it was as serious. And I get that, but attack the accusation, not the person.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. And, as a white male who has never been sexually assaulted, I really don't have a whole lot to really contribute. I mean, I have my opinion, but it's really, my opinion doesn't matter in this realm. I mean, that's kind of my contribution to this is, it doesn't, and like you said, you've experienced this, and that's, that's where you're coming from. So if anybody has a problem with your opinion, then they should check themselves.
Exactly. But it just kills me, the lack of empathy with this situation that people keep pushing forward. And it goes right into the whole topic of online etiquette. It's like, look, you can have your opinion. I've told people all the time, write what you want on your wall. But if you come at me with that opinion, I'm going to shoot it down. Because to act like somebody who posts for Playboy isn't going to get sexually harassed, to act like somebody just because they vote Republican or vote Democrat isn't credible to say they've been attacked. I know there are people that are going to use the Me Too to lie. People use online to lie. We've learned that. We've kicked people out of our group for being online mask wearers. So we know they're fake asses.
Yeah.
It's not about that.
And it kind of goes to that, speaks to that whole, like, the authenticity, right? So the Me Too happened, right?
Yeah.
A lot of stuff happened around that. There's a lot of authentic, I mean, it was like some, like, it's like, somebody's probably profiled, like, some real fucking awesome tweets that, like, just cut at the heart of the issue.
Yeah.
Awesome, maybe about real, like, real, just, like, really concise, like, cutting tweets, and so forth. But, yeah, there's a point at which it becomes hijacked, and, I mean, not hijacked, but, I mean, like you said, there are people who will use it nefariously, with malintent, And one thing about the Me Too, let me just say this one real quick. Shout out to all the women who didn't do #MeToo that were, abused, assaulted, harassed, you name it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, those women, Like, that's what, I mean, this is what
I didn't want to be a part of it, and I mean, I'm not knocking the movement, but I did. It's hard. I share enough about myself on my timeline. I try to be as open a book as possible, but I just don't like bandwagons when I talk about stuff. I don't need a hashtag to share who I am with people who follow me. I don't need strangers seeing it if they don't want to look for it themselves. I just felt like it was a movement,
Absolutely.
but it wasn't for me. You know.
Exactly. Well, I mean, here's the thing. It's like you are constantly putting forth effort on issues just like this to create change, affect change, right?
Yeah.
The Me Too thing kind of brought in people who don't really pay attention to it, maybe, right? So you have this mix of people who are basically, we are Taylor Swifts of the world, who are just like, like, oh my God, like, let me jump on and feel like I'm cool, and then you have people who are like, what is this, Me Too? What's Twitter? Oh my God, I was assaulted, and then they put their story forward, right?
Yeah.
That's incredibly brave, right?
Yeah.
But beyond that, then yeah, like you said, it gets morphed into something, right?
It's
It
just
kind of
too
gets
much
like Twitter
potential.
hashtag digestion thing goes down,
Yeah.
and then so if you, like, if you really are about the hashtag Me Too, then you should be donating to Planned Parenthood.
Yep.
You should be doing things, improving your behavior, listening to women when they speak and that sort of thing. So that's kind of, I don't know, I'm a teacher, this is just how I talk. But, this is the kind of, like, natural evolution that hashtag should ideally kind of give, pardon the pun, give birth to, right? I mean, it should really just, it should be about, it should be about action. Like, it should be about action, like, kind of going back to online etiquette. It's like you can't be all this big Twitter bravado without action.
Exactly.
And there are the rare exception that people who are on Twitter actually do things, that change things. Shout out to Jaya. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, that you have to have a talent for that. That needs to be something you actually do and have a skill for. You can't just be hashtagging your way and think, oh yeah, I just.
I mean, it's even little things. Like I posted last night, you can take stuff that you don't use, whether it's old clothes, whether it's old toys, whether it's books, stuff that is sitting in your closet collecting dust. Bring it to your schools, bring it to homeless shelters. People use this stuff. There's this woman that followed me just this month, and she showed pictures of her of people who she helped out at the park. This guy was just so grateful to get a new pair of shoes. It brought tears to my eyes.
Yeah.
I know because of the surgery, my weight's been going up and down. There's certain things I'm not fitting no more that I'm not even going to try to fit right now. So I've bagged it up. I know it can help the family, especially some of the professional clothes that I kept, just in case I went back into the business world. I was like, this can help somebody get a job interview.
Yeah,
it's just
exactly.
little things you can do to make this world better.
Yeah, exactly, right? Action that makes the world a better place. Like, for as much as you and I, maybe people think maybe we may be cynical or pessimistic, whatever kind of negative connotation they want to, layer onto our stuff, that's fine, and I can understand why they would do that. But we come from a place of an incredible amount of love, It's like we do things because we care, It's like
it's passion.
I'm from the Bay Area, and it's really weird right now with all the tech shit, and it's just kind of like, just different and weird, and I critique it, and people are like, oh, you hate the Bay Area now. It's like, fuck no, I love the Bay Area, and that's why I'm saying this shit, but you're confused, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, people just, it's like action is more important than words,
It is.
And Twitter is words, and rarely does it equate to action, and that's that.
And my thing is, with this climate, we've got Trump trying to start a freaking holy war by sticking his nose in something that we needed it to keep out. This was a dog whistle to all these crazy evangelicals who think that this Armageddon is going to happen. And my thing is, if y'all want to go be with God, go be with God. Don't take the rest of us with you.
Yeah, like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? It's like, oh, the world's going to end, so let's fucking make it end. Like, that's really what all that is,
That's the most selfish...
That explains to these white people.
Yeah.
Remember the doomsday preppers? How about those people aren't the fuck around? Why? Because Trump's president. Oh, we're all fine and safe. Yeah. Think about that. Where are the doomsday preppers?
Yeah.
Where are you? Show yourself. Are you like, did you bunker away and not realize that Obama is not president and it's now your racist, white nationalist Nazi guys in office?
Exactly.
Yeah, like, you at least get a goddamn radio so you can listen to this shit. Yeah. It's just like, it's incredible. If you're not paying attention, it can be confusing. But for people who do pay attention, we can sound angry, but we're not. We're just paying attention.
We see all the fuckery, and it's like, if you're not angry or upset about what's going on in the world, you're probably benefiting from all the fucked up stuff that's going on in the world. And I don't got time for you. You know,
Absolutely.
If you got time to tone police people who say shit is fucked up instead of going after fucked up people, you probably contribute to a lot of the fucked up stuff that we're talking about. And I don't need to massage your guilt. Don't come at me wanting a cookie for not being a racist. I mean, what the heck is that? I hate when people do that, for real. That's like one of the top online etiquette things that I like to push. Don't come to a person of color, a trans, or an LGBT or a Muslim saying, well, I don't do that. Well, so? What do you want?
Why the fuck are you here? Why are you saying this? Like, then good. Keep not doing that and, like, do
talk
that.
to your racist grandpa.
Yeah, like, people, white people want some sort of, like,
pat
it's
on
like
the
there's
head.
some sort of magical ticket or T-shirt or club entrance admission certification. Like, oh, a person of color or minority told me I wasn't the problem, and it's like it's some sort of like static, thing that they can just achieve.
Yeah.
Whereas it's a verb, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta be not racist. You got to call out racism.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not, I'm not racist. They're racist. It's like, okay, cool. So, and now what? You know what I mean? Like,
and
be about that action.
All these far lefters, and I'm calling them, I said it this morning, I mean it, they're just Republicans wearing the Democrat mask for me. They keep touting Bernie in 2020, which I swear, I said it to Manny, and I mean it. I will run a grassroots campaign if Bernie Sanders runs in 2020. I will run for president. I don't care. I mean, we've already proved that a stupid, crazy person can be elected president. At least I'm intelligent and crazy.
I just kind of had an epiphany. We need to find, like ideally, there's no more rules anymore, apparently, 2017. Who would be the best president? If we could just kind of, like, insert our Manchurian candidate, like, that's a good little question right there. Who would be the best president if you could just sort of plop somebody in there? I would choose you,
Oh, I appreciate it. I said it before. If you ran, I would choose you because you care. And that's what we need. We need people who care but don't kowtow to the BS. I mean, for real, our party's being held hostage by a guy who can sympathize with Trump voters on their economic anxiety over the fact that there are people out here who are afraid to let the kids play outside with even toy water guns because they could be killed. We're tired of burying our family members and them being a hashtag. We're tired of seeing the trans panic defense being used against when people murder trans women. We are living in fear of a government that wants to ban people from the military because of their gender identity, who says his VP wants to hang people who are gay, and he sees the Trump voters fight, and he wants to run under a Democratic ticket. Get the heck out of here, Bernie Sanders. I don't care what your faith is. If you act like a white supremacist, I'm going to treat you like one.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. Not a Democrat, by the way.
Yeah.
And it's insane how the media is just like, oh, Bernie and the Democrats. Like,
no,
he's not a Democrat.
He's not.
Like, oh, yeah, okay, let's do this. Ross Perot and the Republicans. Like, what the fuck, people? Like, use your brain.
They're called independent. I didn't call Ralph Nader a Republican. He was an independent. And unlike Perot and Nader, instead of Bernie taking his revolution, since it's such a strong message, and running his own stuff, he wants to just come into somebody's house, don't pay no bills, and tell them how to run shit, like I said to Payetta. It don't work that way.
Yeah, and, I mean, I'm in favor of telling people what to do, because they suck, but, I mean, he can't do that. You know? I mean, that's just not how that shit works, you know what I mean? And
not if you're not going to affiliate with the party you're trying to. Yeah. And then you've got these bros like that Alex guy, capping for Roy Moore, talking about why Doug Jones isn't good for Alabama. I'm sorry. If I have to pick between a civil rights lawyer and a pedophile, I'm going to pick the civil rights lawyer. Heck, I would pick a rock over Roy Moore. A rock.
I mean, it, like, really, it's kind of where we're seeing there is no soul there. There's no there there. I mean, white evangelicals, there's a statistic and a graphic out there, many of you may have seen it. You know, a while ago, I think it was like 10 years ago or something, like, 70% or something, like really the highest percentage among demographics, among like Catholics and Protestants and atheists, like white evangelicals believe that, if you had a moral defect or your moral judgment was compromised, then you were unfit for office. Like 70s, high 70%, somewhere in the 70%, right? Yeah. Fast forward to now, like fucking 20% of them believe that. Because they're supporting a goddamn pedophile.
And the pussy grabber elect. Well, in chief now, because he's POTUS. I hate even saying that.
Yeah, no, but I mean, it speaks to the radicalization of the white person. Like white people. I mean, radical Islam has done far less damage than radical whiteness. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm telling
radical whiteness is our problem. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm more afraid of an angry white dude walking down my neighborhood than I would ever be of a Muslim man, because I know that angry white dudes will go into a movie theater and shoot people up. They'll go and shoot people at a concert from a hotel window. They go into college campuses and shoot people up. And they leave, and churches, and they leave manifestos. Yet people will profile my butt because my skin's brown. It don't make sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like a core thing. It's like, what being white is different than not being white, and this is our evidence. You know what I mean? It's like white people, white men, specifically, kind of they have a feeling like, oh my God, the world isn't perfectly suited to my needs. This is horrible and the problem.
Yeah.
And my problem is just as as important as your problem. And it's like, no, it's not, dude. Like, you're mad because, like, Simone Biles fucking dominated, and then that feels bad because you missed Dominique Luciano. It's like, okay, go shut up. It's like,
they're mad because most of them can't talk to women either. I mean, look at them.
Yeah.
Wife from pillow havers.
Yeah, I have a quote that kind of, I feel like it'll wrap up, not wrap up, it'll kind of, it's a summation of all this. Okay, so it's a quote from our journal called The Racism Rootkit, Understanding the Insidiousness of White Privilege by a bunch of people with a lot of degrees. So, it says, displaying empathy toward another is often associated with an act of connection. The speed with which white people rush to express sympathy and understanding at the expense of acknowledging their participation in racist behavior and ideology discourages a deep relational connection in the moment.
Yeah. It's like those people that bring up Martin Luther King. It's like,
the worst.
Yeah. You know your side of the story, the whitewashed Hollywood side of Martin Luther King. I know the stories that were passed down from my family, who marched, who had dogs and hoses turned on them. So yeah, you don't get to tell me about Martin Luther King at all if you don't understand that the civil rights movement went through a lot of what BLM is going through now.
Yeah, it really just displays how fucking stupid people are.
Yeah.
First of all, but yeah, it's insane that, I mean, people hold up. It's the kind of, like you said, like the whitewashed. I'm a teacher, I get it. The kind of way the way you're taught is the way you understand things, right?
Yeah.
And yes, Martin Luther King had a dream that people got judged on the content of their character, not their skin color. He had that dream that was achieved, and guess how that was achieved? By actually dealing with fucking racism.
Yes. And he said it in his own words.
Some fairy dust was sprinkled over, and I quoted something on my Pinterest, and now we are in a utopia. There's work to be done, right? There's hard work to be done. And they killed him because he was working to do this.
Yes.
Like, it's insane. And like, okay, good, so we had a dream, we achieved it, great, okay, moving on.
Somebody got mad at me once because they was like, you should channel your Martin Luther King. I was like, I'm not dying to martyr right now. No, because that's what Martin Luther King was. He was a martyr.
Yep.
And people try to forget that, but I'm not going to let them forget if they come at me with this. Like Rob Schneider, who, if you didn't watch SNL back in the day, you probably don't even really know who he is. You know, he had like bit parts in movies. But he pulled that in January about how Martin Luther King and call out white people who don't stand up to racism, who think that they're helping us by tone policing our threads and stuff. I'm sorry, but you are as responsible for this bigotry going on because you condone it. You condone it by not fighting with us.
Absolutely. And that's the thing is, for as kind of maybe crude as I come across on Twitter, in my real life, I realize that you have, as a white person, you have to. Other white people being racist, that's on us. You know what I mean? Like white people, like it's on us to call that out. Like I don't expect, like if you were on a train and somebody was being really horrible toward somebody, like okay, so like that. Remember the Asian guy in the bar? You know, the Chinese guy, the guy who was getting called out. He was like, not called up and called racist. You know,
he called him a Chinese M-word. I was flipping. I was like, this is crazy.
Okay. So for me, it's like, yes, racism exists. This guy is evidence of it. The real problem is that white guy sitting next to the Chinese gentleman that got up and left.
Yep.
That is the problem.
He symbolizes everybody who comes on our threads trying to tone police us. Everybody who says, you know, not all. I hate not all. All those who whataboutism. Well, what about black crime? And it's like, okay. I will own black crime if you own every mass shooter that's happened in our country right now. Okay? You own that, and then I'll own black crime.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, let's, cast aspersions on people for being this, that, and the other thing, and then when I get called out for being something, I'm somehow not that.
Yeah.
That's whiteness right there. It's like, I'm just going to, fall back into the void, and not take responsibility for any shit. Because that's what being white is about, is kind of ignoring consequences.
Exactly.
And
it's just like,
shit,
and we shouldn't have to say not all. I mean, all the people that I'm cool with come in many different ethnic backgrounds. And we never go, well, not all this, not all that. We understand that there's a large percentage of fucked up things. And the only way to change them is to freaking face them. But Twitter is just not the landscape for it. I mean, I use it to network. I use it to engage people. I use it to spread awareness. But, the last year especially after losing that one former friend of ours, you see how people use it for just sexual fuckery all the time.
Oh, God.
And like I said, what kills me is how many people accused our circle of friends of that. They even had, certain members married to each other, which we all laughed at because most of us have significant others. And it's like, we get that. I'm not trying to diss people's kinks. If you're online to get your freak on, more power to you. But there are people who can hang out without doing that shit.
Yeah, seriously, yeah.
And
absolutely.
Kamala Harris is trying to get this bill passed. I know she's one of your favorite politicians. I respect her a lot too.
California.
But for real, she's trying to get this bill passed that prevents people from putting up revenge porn, taking naked pictures of people putting it up. And I tweeted a couple of days ago that I bet you they passed that revenge porn bill if all the women who got uninvited dick pics got together and created a site called Disappointing Dick Pics. Some guys laughed. Other guys were really uncomfortable because they know they've sent shit that they shouldn't have sent. I mean, I don't even go on Facebook Messenger anymore because it's just ridiculous. I told the one story about this dude that kept spamming me, I love you. Now, all y'all know I'm in a committed relationship. I'm happy. But this guy just wouldn't stop spamming, I love you. So I just ignored him. He goes, talk to me. I'm like, yo, what is this? And then a pic of his dick. And it's like, dude, if I'm not responding to I love you, why would I respond to that?
Absolutely. People are horrible.
Yeah.
Specifically. And this is an amazing idea. Basically a registry of dick pics.
Yeah.
Basically, you document dick pics. If you want to send me your dick pic, I'm going to put your name, your city, your where you were born, whatever information you have.
I'm going to caption it too. Look, he had to hold it to make it look bigger. Because they do that shit too.
Yeah, but this is a thing. It's that should be a thing because if the resources that can be brought to bear to like maybe like scare people to not do this, which is kind of the idea, and scare them into like actually getting help for their weirdness. But yeah, like what a deterrent, you know? Like
you've seen that old congressman. I did not want to see that picture, but people kept sharing it. Just
oh my God,
gross.
Is this the upward shot?
Yes.
The upward shot. That's all I needed. Oh.
I needed eye bleach after that. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that.
I saw a third version of it, and that was enough.
Yeah.
I am thankful that I met my wife when it was the Facebook.
Yes.
Just like I like as far as like, you know, relationships and, you know, like courting, hear how old I'm courting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, like all that sort of thing, like, you know, dick pic me, this pic there, you know, like I totally ignorant and I couldn't be happier.
I know.
You know what I mean?
But you do get
like,
some psychos that come after you too. Some of these women, especially them alt-right Nazi women, they
guns pistol days during the old you know, when there were no rules on Twitter, you know, no, there was a lot of, it was weird. I mean, I'm pretty sure those were dudes, but yeah, wow, right?
Yeah, that means they were crushing hard on you. It's like
have babies, like who says this shit? Like that's why it has to be men. Like I'm not even kidding. I mean, there are women who think that. So horrible. It totally is like a skinny white dude in the basement.
Yeah.
It totally is, right? Eating his hot pocket, you know, pushing his glasses back up on 4
But I mean, you and Ja, especially Ja, he has gotten a lot. Like the Psycho Hobies, a lot of her falling out with us was because she tried to push herself on him.
Yeah, he's a straight up Twitter sex symbol. It's like he's like a magnet for like weirdness.
Yeah.
You know, like it's too real, and then the weird comes.
Every woman who's fallen for him, and it doesn't matter what her color, she's had several fall for him, even though, I'm going to say it, he's happily married, you idiots. And they fall for him. He doesn't play around like that. And then they get to feel for her and talk about, oh, he doxed me and he did this. And I'm like, he's not even paying attention to you.
Maybe you're a Nazi. You know, maybe people should think about that before they fall in love with, you know.
Exactly.
John, right? Like I feel like back in the day, I had a fair share of that, but it's like that's definitely tapered off for me. But
the eyebrow lady was
in that category.
The eyebrow lady was the funniest one because I think she was a real lady. She just kept talking about she had a PhD.
You really think she was really? You really think she had a? You really think she was a plastic surgeon?
No, I don't think she was a plastic surgeon. I don't think she was a PhD. I think she lives in a trailer. That's why I kept calling her Redneck Rebecca until she blocked me. And I think she thought high of herself until we kept calling her out. I was like, eyebrow threading is not eyebrow surgery, honey. Anybody could do eyebrow threading. And you know me and Panther got on her. Because you're trying to spout racism. Then you're trying to flirt with somebody who I consider like my little brother. And it was gross. And I know your wife would have just tore her up. So that's...
Yeah, if it ever got real, it would get too real for them. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, like the weird sex stuff that goes on online, it's like, like I said, I'm gleefully ignorant of it in a real sense, you know. And I'm a white guy. I don't get too many dick pics, not too many.
But you see how these, they'll even like that Canadian racist guy who tried to "how you doing" me after saying all that horrible stuff to you. It was like, you didn't think I could read the bigotry that you were tweeting at Zwerg? Don't try to hit on me. You're ew.
The Canadian racist that photoshopped me into a picture of getting
gassed in the oven, and then allegedly got into a fight with a group of black guys and won.
I pointed out the line for consistency, and then that's when I got put in a custom graphic. I have that saved. I save it all. I have files. I'm a online. According to some crazy people, women who are foxy. I got 5 files. I have files, people. I'm an intelligence officer.
I'm still waiting for her subpoena for the lawsuit against us too with the crazy stuff.
You have no idea how many times I've been sued.
I know.
I've been sued a lot.
And then I know she's following us under her quadrillion alt because she hides in plain sight, and it's just like, look, don't out yourself, and I won't block whatever alt you're following me with now because you're stuck on us. I can tell. Thanks for the ratings.
Absolutely. it really is like it's like a disease, like an infection. It's like it's toxic. You just have to it's not bothering me right now. It's not acting up. Leave it there. Don't touch it. Nobody look at it. Ignore it. You know.
I just have to. I know I can't get in that mindset with you because you don't do it. I just don't understand the male brain to think that it's okay to send somebody you don't know something that intimate of yourself. I just think that, it's not even teasing what you're working with. For me, even though I like men, I've always thought that part of the body looked weird anyway. So,
no, 100%, yeah. That part of the male anatomy, it's an aberration to, anatomy.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, the human body, women and men, they're pretty much the same. What is that thing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's basically, I get that. That's totally real. And, yeah, no, not that me saying it's real makes it real, but you get my point. Yeah, there's aesthetically, it's jarring. You know what I mean? It's like if that wasn't there, then it would look normal.
Yeah.
Things would, it's like, I get that, right? But men, horny men. If you're horny and frustrated, horny, you know what I mean? There's horny, oh my god, my girlfriend's out of town, and then there's oh my god, I probably have no prospect of having sex with a good-looking woman in my lifetime. Frustrated, horny. That's kind of that's Gamergate. That's Twitter. That's what that is the nexus of what we're dealing with.
Yes.
My girlfriend is a pillow. You know what I mean? This is where we are. You know what I mean? The radicalization of the white male. You know what I mean? This is where we are.
I can tell you.
Going back to your thing. It's I'm a white guy. Why am I not being held responsible for these white dudes who have girlfriend pillows? You know what I mean? What if I walked around and everybody thought that I'm my girlfriend? I was girlfriend. My girlfriend was a pillow. You know what I mean? That's literally what happens. White people casting they're ascribing what blackness is, and then okay, cool, and then the other way around, they're white people. Yeah, they are in relationships with pillows, and they're horrible dancers.
And,
you know what I mean?
It's just they're angry. Look at Baked Alaska. Baked acid in my eyes. Failed as a rapper. Completely mediocre. But I'm guaranteeing you there are women out there, and probably guys who pretended to be women out there, who got a dick pic from him, because you could tell guys who just, they try too hard to go after women that wouldn't give them the time of day. And I guarantee you, he tried with women of color, just like everybody else.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's really just a celebration of underachievement, mediocrity, kind of everything that's bad and disappointing and drab and horrible. And he's that.
Exactly.
He is that.
He's every gamer guy I've dealt with too, because they still do it. I go on sometimes to unwind from a bad week, and I want to go shoot stuff in maybe Destiny or something, and you get these guys that follow you around, and it's dude, get a life. It's not attractive.
Yeah. Baked Alaska. He's ridiculous. Yeah, exactly. He's basically an amalgam of those people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And and do you see his in and out parking lot rant thing where he was? You see that?
I wish I had it, but yes.
Yeah. Oh God. They kick me on Twitter and they wake up and I'm suspended. It's just oh God.
He's ridiculous.
It felt good for me at least. I took a certain joy in it. Oh God, yeah.
That was like the guy that got on YouTube whining about he was a proud racist when he was on that news interview. Then when the fallout happened, he's a crybaby. This is how they roll.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about it is, right? It's white people, they dig the hole, they dig the hole, they dig the hole, they dig the hole, and then when you see them stop digging the hole and try and come out, that's what you see is people breaking the fuck down.
Yeah.
And, their whole world shatters. So, I mean, in a way, just sort of in a human condition standpoint, there is if I actually listen to people of color and take what they have to say as truth, I'm going to have a good cry. You know what I mean? And come to grips with a lot of things. It's not just not an excuse, but it's just that is there. That's very real. I mean, that's how fucked up these people are.
And it's not just the men either. The women are just as bad. They have these women. I read this piece 2 days ago, and it just makes me shake my head. These alt-right women are complaining that the alt-right men are abusing them, and how can they spread the message for you if you're treating us like garbage? And it's like, yeah, they treat everybody like garbage, and you want to be treated like a liberal woman wants to be treated. Like this woman was like, how dare they tell me I should just make babies? It should be my choice. Well, hon, you joined the side that said that you're just a human incubator, so what do you want?
They literally want to ignore human progress and, like, live on a different planet and pretend like they invented everything.
Exactly.
Like, it's insane. It's insane. They taught you, that's what they want to do. It's like, oh my God, like, men are treated bad. It's like, yes, bitch, we told you this, like, a ton of times. Like, when you jumped in that pool, we told you, hey, guess what that pool is? It's filled with that. And then now you're coming out of that pool like, hey, guys, guess what that pool's filled with? It's like,
it's filthy. Oh my God.
Yeah. And then, let's put that person on the cover of Time as some sort of, they realize something and they're so great, let's, hold them up on a pedestal. It's like, hello, we were here the whole time saying,
and we see the algae on you, hun. I mean, going back to Taylor, we see the algae on you. You can try to act like, oh no, I don't have to talk bad about the alt-right who hold me up, because you want to keep them record sales. But don't try to act like you're an activist if you're going to do that. Because these people are using you as their icon. And you know it now. And instead of saying, hey, I'm not down with that, you decided, I'm going to sue whoever says that these people are doing this to me. And it's just like, man, the privilege.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, the entry point with which you get to, enter the conversation is, that's mighty white of you. You know what I mean? It's like, you're coming in at this level, like, you think that everything is perfect and there's no injustice in the world, and this little thing at the top is just kind of wrong. It's like, hello, there's a whole, like, roots to this plant, you know what I mean, that you should probably address, you know what I mean? Like,
and
feeling the symptom, not the, the actual disease,
Exactly. And the final thing I definitely want to talk about with online etiquette is because Twitter is a debate area. We can't lie about that. People are going to debate. We're going to argue back and forth. Bring facts. Not your feels. You're going to have your feelings there anyway. But when I get passionate about something, I like having receipts. So I don't look like a dumbass who's just talking out the side of my face. And no Breitbart, no Wikipedia, and not even YouTube is a citation thing. There are plenty of online citable places that you can get info from.
Yeah, it's like, people don't realize that videos are meant to make you feel certain ways. It's like, hello, you ever taken for any sort of basic production class, you make music to make it more dramatic and make the person feel this way. It's like, give me some sort of goddamn proof, you know what I mean? And like,
how many times have dudes recommended to us collectively Alex Jones as citation? It's like, wait a minute, what? I listened to him for like 15 minutes once in a clip. And I was like, dude needs my medication. They need him on some Halidol right now because he's crazy.
Did you see the paperwork on his divorce?
Yep.
Talking about, did you see that? I don't know, but like how he talked about his whole like kind of puppet persona, and he basically characterized it as an act.
Yeah.
Right? Like that was his rational. I mean, he's trying to like gain some sort of leverage with his wife and all that sort of thing. And I don't want, he's a dad. Like at least I
hope it's an act because he's fucking crazy. Yeah.
Joe Walsh, pay your goddamn child support.
Yeah, he's another one. He got too much time to be weighing in on Twitter. You need to be paying those child support payments, dude.
Yeah, dude, the way he just goes after people is ridiculous, and it's just like low-hanging fruit, Yeah. It's ridiculous. It's like grab your musket. I love that. I love that. That is a good line, though. I'll give him that. Grab your musket.
You got these feelings over fact. Like they gave Katrina Pearson of all the dumb fucks on Twitter 280 words, and she took 280 words to say more dumb shit. And it's like, way to go, Twitter.
Yeah, Katrina Pearson with that many words is you can go some really weird places pretty quickly with that, you know?
It's a sign of the apocalypse if you're evangelical.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so weird. It's like, It's just like people. Shit is so fucked up. It's like if you're totally on drugs, then it seems normal. You know what I mean? It's like it's that weird. You know what I mean? It's like when you're sober, it feels like you're totally wasted and like things are so like disorienting. You know, if you're an actual person who cares about other people and society and whatnot. But
that's how the last 2 years have felt for real. I'm just like I think about how quickly 2017 has been, how many people we've lost this year. I mean, it's just been crazy. And it doesn't help that this government's run by Cheeto Caligula and his Looney Tune GOP squad, who they're just trying to stick it to all of us. But, I mean, that's why I think people flock to social media a lot. It's a haven. It's an escape. And I don't blame people. I have fun on social media, too, when I can. But I just think that there are ways to do shit without being gross, without being creepy, and without fucking up all the time.
Without being a South Korean rapper who fetishizes black women.
Oh, my gosh. And I was hoping Panther would be here for that. And we'll probably have to do another, talk about this next week.
Yeah, no, I was just, I was looking at my notes. I was just like, oh my god.
Because the stuff I read when she linked that, and it's like, look, I get it. We get fetished. Women are fetishized all the time, whether we're black, Asian, Hispanic, even white women. We get fetished. But to read the way they describe black sex, it's like whoever created that garbage never had sex in their life. Ever.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so public service announcement to all men. Just keep it in your head, masturbate, and fucking move on. It's ridiculous.
It's gross.
Like, quit being a fucking creep.
And I can tell you right now, as a black woman,
just keep it in your fucking head, rub one out, and move the fuck on. It's so amazing how they think it's society's problem that they're sexually frustrated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, the fetishization, it's just like,
I'll tell you right now, as a black woman who's had a child, I've never, ever done anything in that story. Ever. That was just, I was like, what kind of weird ass, it was like he was describing sex between a crazy person. It's no.
The fact that he kept saying, and then the black woman.
Yes.
And then the black woman. It's like, what the fuck? Like, you do know that once you say that you're having sex with the black woman, from then on, we assume that that's who you're having sex with, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's like, it's beyond, it's even a grammatical problem.
It is.
Let alone a complete creepy problem.
And then on top of that, you add that the black woman, and I really, it was making me cringe every time I read that line. But then you add the fact that she uses like a Asian slur to the guy she's sleeping with, and I'm like, this whole story is making me feel gross.
Yeah, the dude has problems. Like, like, it's so weird watching hip hop go from something. I mean, this is the evolution of everything: rock and roll, potato chips, cars, you name it. Things evolve, right? But it's really fucking odd to see hip hop get turned into a South Korean fetishizing a black woman, and that somehow gets categorized as hip hop.
I know.
Like, that's so antithetical. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you were you there? You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what hip hop is? Like, I mean, I hear old man shakes fist at cloud kind of speech here, but like, and I listen to the kids. I listen to what the kids listen to. I get it, but like, there's stuff that it's like authentic experience. Like, okay, like if he's rapping about stuff that I can't relate to, but if he's telling me what he actually does, like, okay, I'm not telling him he doesn't do it, right? I'm talking about, doing a lot of drugs. Like, okay, that's great, do all those drugs. Like, if you do that, that's what you're about, that's okay, that's that. But the South Korean guy going with the black woman, is just like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yes,
dude? That's so antithetical to hip hop. How is that even in your bio?
Now, I know there were some people mad at, and I can't remember this, because I'm not really that into a lot of this new rap anyway, but I think he's like Polish or Hungarian guy, talking about he doesn't even really listen to rap, he listens to like folk music like Bob Dylan and stuff, and people would get mad at that.
Oh, God. Okay, so I heard about this. The student asked me about this. This is how all this shit starts. Student asked me, like, hey, what do you think about this? It's like, okay. Post Malone is a white guy. I check my tweets. His face is punchable. I've said that on record.
He looks ridiculous.
Yeah. And he was talking, I mean, he was being interviewed in Poland, and he's like, oh, first of all, I had a lot of beers. It's like, okay, so when you get drunk, you're fucking stupid. That's good to know. Thanks for that one.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, and then he's like, oh, like, I mean, music goes with the mood. If I'm partying, I listen to hip hop, and and I get that. Like, hip hop is a voice of the people. If the soliloquy. If hip hop smoked out, we'll be smoked out. If hip hop's, like fly will be fly. It's like it's a reflection of the people and who people are, and an authentic reflection. But I get that, right? It reflects it, but he's talking about like Bob Dylan's, like I cry to Bob Dylan, and hip hop's like party music. I think he totally missed the boat on context. It's like you do know that hip hop has a history, right?
And I grew up with political hip hop, right? NWA, and Public Enemy. That's my hip hop. That's the hip hop that I can put in and listen to and then re-wear and bop to. I can't get with these, like that one guy that looks like a freaking Muppet. He literally looks like a Muppet, and my mom said, why's he got chiclets in his mouth? That's like that new rap.
Yeah, well, this is what happens when this is kind of that weird, like I talked about, things are antithetical to hip-hop, you know? I mean, it just, he doesn't, I don't know.
It's
I don't
whack
know.
hop, if you ask
like,
me.
I can understand hip-hop. Like, that's just, and like, I get, like I said, I get that things evolve and things change, but be authentic. You know what I mean? Like, yes, if you're partying and doing all these things and you're speaking to that and talking about your life, that's great. You know what I mean? But if you're just going to hop on something and talk about, oh, yeah, I shoot up people, but I'm actually a white guy from, like, Illinois or where the fuck he's from. You know what I mean? Like, and you don't do those things and you're just hopping on that bandwagon because it sounds good, like, shut the fuck up about what hip-hop is.
And he's not the only one. You remember Ricky Luther?
Yeah. Totally.
He was just a mess. Well, what's your problem with me saying I love black women? I mean, you would talk to me if you were up there. A, no, I wouldn't, because I don't like culture vultures. B, I don't like the fact that you think that you can tout loving black women as proof that you're not racist when you're using our medium to spread bullshit. Don't do that.
Yeah, no, this is the fragile ego of the white male. It's like, I watch interracial porn, and that makes me not racist or something. Yeah. Right?
I think you're cute, so I can't be racist. Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah, no, it's not a very thought out ethos.
Nope. Too many people tout that. So if you're listening to this, guys, if you have listened throughout this whole cast, don't do that. It's not cute. We don't want to feel like we're your Barbie dolls. We don't need you freaking going gaga over it. If I tell you in the DM that, I'm not interested, don't send me compliments, I don't feel comfortable, it's not a diss to you. It's saying you're making me uncomfortable. Learn, buddy.
Absolutely. Learn. Listen. Yeah. Listen. That's absolutely. Listen.
I had this woman on my timeline that had me hollering. She was like, dude, I'm a 68-year-old grandmother. I don't need you spamming my DMs telling me I'm hot. That's gross.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. It's just not cool.
It is. I know. Yeah, 100%. And yeah, God, hopefully things change. There's the winds of change are happening with calling it out, getting it out there as far as male.
We just have to be real genuine with it, and we have to let people know, we see what you're doing. I've kept some of these pictures, man. If you keep messing with me like that, I will buy the domain Disappointing Dick Pics.
Registry.org.
Yes. I will get that domain, and we will be putting your pictures up there. So I would think twice. And that goes for women too. Don't send your pictures out to people you don't know. Because I know there's some women that do that crap too. Why would you do that to yourself?
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, exactly. Unsolicited. It's a problem. Apparently.
And y'all need to cut it out. This is not just me being a mom saying that. This is me as a human being. It's just gross.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh my God, what a cast!
It was a lot of fun. I don't know what's going on with Pants. They got snow in her part of Texas, so she's probably out there freaking out trying to get supplies and stuff. We're supposed to be getting it here too. We got ice rain going.
Yeah, we gotta check in. Yeah, hopefully she's okay. So if you do a part 2 to this, definitely. But, absolutely good. Awesome. Yeah, I gotta get going. I got a daddy duty. It's got calls. You know.
That's why I was like, let's get this show started. Let's get it wrapped up. If we don't do a part 2 this time around, we'll definitely jump on next weekend and get another cast talking because I'm telling you, there was so much that we didn't get to cover because of the stuff that was sent to her that I definitely want to hear her take on.
Yeah, right. I mean, that story needs to be told.
Oh, yeah.
That people need to listen.
Yeah.
Good. Right. All right. Well, I hope you're online. Have a good Saturday.
You
right?
too. It's Saturday.
I don't know which way's up.
I'm telling you.
All right. I'll see you later on.
Talk to you later on.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. And we are probably going to wrap this up because right now, with the crazy weather, I don't know which members are going to be available. And this was a fun cast. It's not our normal 2-hour format. It was just a lighthearted thing on online etiquette, which I feel that is lacking right now when it comes to how people treat each other online, whether they're online bullying like Team Patriot or Pillow Fort, whatever they want to call themselves, whether they're sending unsolicited dick pics, which just stop. It's not cute. Don't do it. If a woman doesn't want to talk to you, sending her a picture of your dick is not going to change that. Or write in terrible fetishized versions of sexual encounters, just proving that you're a virgin. I mean, just stop it. I'm thankful for this cast. Hopefully we will be back next week. We might be taking some time off soon for the new year because of the fact that we have families. But we will let you know. Once again, I am Kalari Gamer Chick, also known as Tin, and this has been the CCC podcast, Online Etiquette. This music just sounds so posh. I love it. Oh, and you can check us out on Kalari C on YouTube. It's not the CCC. It is actually Kalari C on YouTube. We will see you again next week.